Um, doing this thing live. See what we working with. Freestyle, Black History Month. Freestyle. See if anybody's on here. I'll be here for an hour today. I got to get some stuff straight, but I came back for thought I'd give it like an hour tonight. See if anybody wanted to come on through. Had such a good time yesterday. Try my luck. See what's up. You know how it is with YouTube, can't always get the stuff straight. So see what we talking about tonight. So we got see we working with. Let me see if I got something right. See if anybody can hear everything. Do this again. Get everything back live. See what I got. I don't want that on. Let me get you back. Okay, I'm back live now. I had a little station identification. So let's see. Anybody comes through, I'll create this poll. Shine. I can't get this one right. Let me get this word right. Keep on talking if you're around. This is a good question. If you're on, please answer the question. I just asked the interesting question. Reading about Shine is quite um, intriguing because Belize, he's doing great things in Belize. He looked like Obama now too. It's crazy when I seen him because he looks great. The guy's been taking care of himself. Um, it's interesting. Some people are, it's one of those things where some people are like, they could, they couldn't, but it got my attention about him. Uh, you know, just one of those things where it's interesting. Anyway, I did say I was gonna come back today from yesterday. I said I'd come back around the same time, so I want to see if anybody's coming through. If I don't see no action, I'll only be on for a half hour. But if I get some action, I'll be on for the full hour. But I am looking forward to seeing what we can talk about. I enjoyed the Shine interviews. I got a chance to really take them in. He's a very compelling brother and well spoken, dignified, and it says a lot. Now, I did say I did a video about it today, so feel free to check out the video. I said that I felt that Jennifer Lopez and Puffy owe him compensation and a whole lot of for what he did. I mean, it's remarkable, very remarkable. So I wanted to give Shine his due. He had a flow. What's up? What's up? How you doing? What's up? Now let me get this right. You a Sixers fan, aren't you? And if you want to comment on the poll, feel free. But what's happening? Feel free to ask some questions. Let's get to it. The more I see on here, the at least I'll make it to an hour if I see that I'm getting the feedback. But I gotta see the feedback today. It's very important that I see people coming through because I welcome all the stuff. I'm familiar with Shyne. Well, he was with Bad Boy Entertainment in the 90s. Anyway, the whole thing with Puffy and Jennifer Lopez and the weaponry in New York at the club, Google it. Get a chance to read, you'll see. Yeah, I thought it was you because I did the Joel Embiid video just now. Interesting. Is he gonna be worth it? The extension. Gonna be interesting. Big game for your Cowboys tomorrow. You got against Baltimore, so make or break. Gonna be real interesting. Yeah. 75% already saying no, they can't forgive. They couldn't forgive Puffy. That's interesting. Okay, that's gonna be good. I think this got a chance to be a real good poll. That's gonna be real good. I couldn't fit the Jennifer Lopez aspect on it, but she's accountable too. And people know. It's interesting how that industry works because they all covered it. He was able to have lawyer up with I can't think that cat's last name, Benjamin, the main lawyer, but with Johnny Cochran. But come on now. Was Puffy was gonna roll with that though. So yeah, only 40, 60. See, okay. Coming down a bit. Okay. What's going on? I see 10 views. Come on in here and join it. Just get some likes up, get some comments going. Let's see what we rolling with tonight. I've actually come on 3 times this week, so trying to see if people will come through. And the more I see, the more I'll be, if I, seeing people coming through. Well, what's up, David? Go ahead and tell the story. Feel free to chime in, David. I know about some stuff. Well, yeah, I'm not gonna argue that. Bradley Beal ain't done nothing like that. I'm with Shaq about Rudy Gobert. Zion, now he got the weight off. Be interested. Cat did good this past year. Towns is a work in progress. He underachieves, but we'll see. And as far as Dame got over stat padding, and he's considered one of the 75 greatest players. It's debatable, but he will get a pass. But yeah, he didn't really look good with Milwaukee and Giannis. And Levine, yeah, I so easily over Levine, Bradley Beal, Cat Towns, Gobert, and Zion thus far. The Dame thing, aside from the MVP, they about almost in the same boat. Dame did get to a Western Conference Finals. But Zach Levine, so I will give you out of 6 cats you mentioned. Was it one, two, three, four, five, six? One, two, three, four. Yeah, the only one is the Dame one. What's up? Glad you here. Told you I was coming back. Told you I was coming back tonight. Had to take care of some stuff, and I'm gonna be here for an hour. Got the poll up. Feel free. Come on, David Bros. Tell me more about the Interscope parties. And I know that Jimmy Iovine, Suge, and them. And Jimmy Iovine did get like a ledge situation, but it just disappeared. No one's talked about it no more. But I know there's a lot of stuff going on, but that's a different ballgame. Dyson. Which Dyson? You talk about Michael Eric? That's the only Dyson I know. And I hope you ain't talking about that crap he did with Common and Ice T on that show where he was trying to battle. What did he do this time? He was in that show where he's trying to battle Common, and let's just say it was comical. I mean, he had some Detroit's. Okay, well, thanks. Well, drop it. Tell it. Um, he did go unchecked because he was Clive Davis's payout, and they had it funded. One of the scariest things I remember was in Billboard magazine 30 years ago in LA Reid, because I used to get Billboard every week. And he said, when I grow up, I want to be like Puffy. And so did Babyface. And but Clive ended up being with Babyface, the whole thing with the whole Arista family. And then Babyface just got honored in New York recently, and then Clive sitting there. Clive don't age at all. Clive been like 98 for like 60 years. He did. They and matter of fact, when they were doing the Me Too, they didn't care. Yeah, I know about the 1 point. Okay, Raven should be favored. Nancy Grace? Nancy Mace. Okay, Michael Eric. I have to write this down. So was it Nancy Grace? Because I don't know Nancy Mace. Uh, when you say LaFace was strange too, you talking about Babyface or LA? Because I know about LA. LA Reid got in trouble, but he ain't got in trouble, if you know what I mean. And you know what I mean. They've had stories about him, and he's kind of like, "Oh, okay, well, thanks, Ted. Oh boy, politician. Okay, I'm gonna write this down for tomorrow. Okay. LA Reid has been known to 10 fingers. I will. Thanks, Ted. I'm gonna definitely. He's been known for 10 fingers, and it was a couple of male situations too, but it got swept underneath though. Okay, I will. Only reason why I ain't do it because I saw him with that corny thing with him and Ice T trying to battle Common, and that was, but I ain't, and I ain't really paid America Michael Eric Dyson. What's happening? I'm doing good. Welcome from Poland. Glad to see you. I stopped checking for him once he used to be on Politically Incorrect every other day. He got on my nerves using big words and trying to sound, he got a little tiring. I thought the first year, Jay Will. I thought the first year because they got out physical by Washington. That was the worst one of the four. Dallas, they fumbled and they looked like they were a step off. They like lost. The Giants game was the best one. The Washington one, they looked like they belonged. Washington was the least talented of those four teams. That was interesting. Thank you, Tomas. Thank you from Poland. Glad to see you. It didn't shock me. So what happened was he had some episode. I forgot what it was with Michael Eric Dyson. It was a few years ago. It was something I saw him on, and I didn't look at him the same. I didn't take his intellect from it. I'll tell you what it was. Um, he always has got something uplifting to say about every art rapper, and he tried to freestyle, and he tried to do all this, and I forgot what it was. And then I think he was, he pulled like Cornel West does. They try to be all they pull a Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, let's party with everybody because that's what ends up becoming. They end up becoming fanboys, basically. And that's what threw me off with him because then I started seeing him. And then I lost if he was a preacher, a professor, or a pimp. A player. I don't know where he falls in one of the P catalogs. And after a while, it's kind of like, okay, Michael Eric Dyson, I'm done with you because I just don't know what you're like the wheel of fortune of the P's. I don't know what you are. You're player, pusher, pimp, preacher. What are you? Professor? He kind of got like the Kamala Harris syndrome of, identity. His is in the P section. Those are public figures who are supposed to be one thing and then end up doing 15 other things. And then I, 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 I don't know what he is. But anyway, I appreciate that, Ted. I will look that up. I'm going to make a video about it, but I'm not going to make a big deal. Everybody who just came in and is in here, please hit them likes up. I appreciate it. Glad to have you. Some good commentary. We're touching on a wide range, people from coming from all over. And this is a great day. So let's make it happen. I don't know with JJ what you mean. No, I'm playing. Feel free to elaborate and don't get quiet on me now. We got a good groove going, so I keep talking. But anyway, yeah, the Bills, the first one, they fumbled badly, the Michael Jackson Super Bowl, and then the last one against Dallas, they was kinda close, but they were still getting out physically work, but they messed up. But, the second one, they didn't belong against Washington. They got manhandled, and I don't look at that Washington team any special. Mark Rippon was the quarterback. I still, for the life of me, don't they just look flat. It's 37-24, but wasn't even that close. That was worse than even the 52-17 one against Dallas. They just look flat. They look flat against Washington. They got pancaked in that one. All right, so keep on talking. Everybody go, okay? How you figure it hurt? They look good so far. They scored 30 plus points the first 2 weeks. How they missing him? 34 against Arizona and 31 against Miami. That's 65 points. That don't look like they missing him. That's a good question, Jay Will. That's a great question. And where's Michael Jordan at? I do. Because Diggs is a headache. He's a talented receiver, but he burns bridges. He's a junior whopper AB, and he's not as good as AB. He's bad, but he dropped, he better be on his P's and Q's with CJ Stroud because that's his last good young route row. If he don't do good there, he'll probably send his butt to probably Atlanta. Or he'll go somewhere where you won't hear from for a minute. He better make it happen there. He been getting over with his talent and his skills. Um, Drexler ain't Jordan though. He was great, but well, if they switch places, Jordan is still going to win about the West was parity bound then. So actually, he probably win more. If I think about it, because Portland was arguably they went to 2 finals in the '90s, and they lost to Lakers in that '91. So that's 3 trips to possibility. If Phoenix got them, Phoenix went in. Then you had Houston's. So probably may have had even more success. Depends on who he's playing with in Portland. Drexler, maybe one or two, but it depends. With his style of talent, you had to have better than three-headed monster. And I don't know if Phil Jackson would have been able to coach him with his styling because he was a very athletic player, but he wasn't playing a triangle style. I don't know how he would have done. Depends on who he's playing with. He needed a center. That's the difference between him and Jordan. That's why when Clyde played with Akeem, he won and he looked good in that situation. I still think with Kevin Durant, they'd have had Sabonis back then, he probably would have won a ring or two. I think that's what hurt him. Him and Terry Porter were nice, but he needed, Kersey was nice, but they needed that. So I don't know if he would have been as successful. I heard about it. Actually, you want to know what? I've been hearing about that for like the last 2 years. And they might get him. I mean, you stuck with that head coach who I don't want to say no names, and you stuck with Dame. I might consider leaving too, if I'm honest, because you're gonna get long in the tooth messing with that situation. There's a reason why Milwaukee is a get out of town. Kevin Duckworth, but if they could have gotten Sabonis, that would have been interesting how history would have pursued. You take Sabonis and when he played with Portland against the Lakers and they went 7 games against Shaq and when Shaq was Shaq and Kobe and Phil and all that, been interesting. I'd say probably 2 to 4. I think maybe he makes. I say he'll have 1 year where he'll stat pad, get his numbers past 25 to 30,000 points. Then when people debate him, he'll have crazy numbers and all that in the postseason run. And then if he thinks he's got a run in him, that. But beyond that, 2 to 4, 3 tops. Even though I did a video about it just now, should be coming any moment. Even though in Steph's case, he's gonna almost be like a John Stockton that he could probably play another 5 or 6 years if he chose to, because he keeps his body in condition. And remember, he can shoot. So if he can shoot and he can pass, but the problem he runs into is the talent that they put around him. Will they put top tier talent around him, or will they just sign plugs and parts that are just, good for a moment? That's the problem. Yeah, I did my video about Joel Embiid. Go check it out. I tapped into all of that. And you know how I did Joel Embiid, the process, and you know how I feel about Joel Embiid. 14 votes so far, 70% say no. Woo, 21 say yes. Woo, this is a hot topic here. Ted, as great as your question was about the Jordan, this one here is this Shine one is huge. I'm liking it. Yeah. But I do like how Shine is doing right now. Shine is doing really good for himself. Uh, Mr. Barrows, Moses Barrow. He's doing quite well for himself. So that's good. All right. Feel free, hit them questions, hit them likes. I welcome it, welcome it, welcome it. I welcome it, welcome it. Oh Lord, so you John Cena fan. Uh-oh. I don't get excited about Cena. Um, yeah, well, he was pathetic. And I'm gonna tell you something. In another day, another time, Trump may have given him a backhand dap, but he's too much. He too much. That big old turkey is too much. I'm like, there's things I want to say you can't say because you gotta watch how you word things. But let's just say I would have went in on him. I'll say this: Jason Whitlock gotta feel like, oh, he's extreme. That's how he got to feel about Mark Robinson. He's extreme, and I don't know how much of it's real or an actor job. If I'm gonna rank them in order, Hakeem first, Dirk, and then Jokic. That's how I rank them. There's always one that wants to be the king or the queen. There's always one. I don't know why people feel the need to, but they really want to. They can't help themselves. They really want to. I'm the top one. No, I'm the biggest one. No, I'm going. I mean, it is real out here. People don't be understanding when you say it like that. It is true. You know what? Them two are almost like Afro Sheen contestants, or they're like almost, um, they almost got hand soul claps compared to him. Brian Donald was worse. Tim Scott, but this dude, oh, he's by they do. And them three are the soulless Jays. But this Mark Robinson thing, woo, this one I think you can't. Is like no, 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 no. I'll put my bid in. No, 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 no. I could see Godfrey the comedian doing no, 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 no. I'm the bigger one. I'm the bigger one. I'm the top one. I'm the top one. I'm like, you really are going for this, Mark Robinson. Woo. And you in Carolina, and you know good well ain't how this story's gonna end. You know how this story gonna end. What are you doing? But he made me laugh though. But I cringed though. That had to happen though. They always gotta find one. I seen him talk to him, and he talked down on him. He don't respect. I told you what Trump did with Ted Cruz, so you know what he be doing with these others. And you ain't seen Herschel Walker in the New York Minute, have you? Where Herschel Walker at? Herschel Walker then gone underground. Got that money and ain't heard nothing from Herschel. Go put him on a milk carton. 80% say no for Shyne. Okay, Calvin, dude. I believe it. I ain't seen Herschel in a minute. Well, I don't do politics here for supporting any candidate, so you're in the wrong form. Well, I guess that sheriff gig didn't work, so I guess it's to get this money. That badge didn't work, so gotta go to plan B. I tell anybody who wants to know I vote for reparations. I don't vote for politicians. Until you do right and do right, I got nothing to do with that other stuff. Sorry. But you're entitled to your opinions though. Just don't bombard the place and spam and we good. Keep on hitting those likes too. So they got views coming through. So welcome more folks. The Shine thing is taking off. They got 19 votes. 84 say no. 16 say yes. Woo! I must got some industry people watching this channel tonight. 20 now. I think they must have been on my mind psyche last night because when I was watching Shine, after I got through doing Got a little winded last night. I was watching Shine, and Shine just started to hit. It was like, I wanted to really, and it really took me back. I remember that whole event back in '99. I remember it like yesterday. Man, it was a different day and time, but whoa. So that's what's up. Okay, now, primo now. There's some questions out. What do you want me to do with that, Ted? Look who's roasting Mel Kiper Jr. You got a turkey who was a never was against someone who plays like he's some was. This is embarrassing. You can't make this up. Brady Quinn. It's I got to think of someone that's whack to get whacked. Well, I was real young when OJ was. That was a little bit before, like I was a kid, but I felt the impact. But Reggie Jackson, Ali, Dr. J, all those four guys. Haley too. Those four, those five, and Arthur Ashe. I mean, there's a few guys I come up the top. You know, OJ was a little bit before when I got aware, but I caught like the tail ends of it. But of course, I got to see. But he was dynamic though. But those guys I mentioned, my main focus was when I got to the '80s though. That's where I saw things unfold, and I saw Sugar Ray Leonard, Magic, and Bird, and Tony Dorsett, Marcus Allen, Earl Campbell, and Marino Montana, and guys like that. So, but anyway, Brady Quinn, that was hilarious. The mighty No Quinn. I used to clown that turkey all the time. Got hooked up because he went to Notre Dame, but his NFL career is like no one remembers him. But watch, he'll fool around and be a commissioner or get a coaching job, and I'll be scratching my head who how he hooked up. Purdy can do it. It's about adjustments. He can do it. They still got Madsen back there running. They still be okay. They ain't gonna fall off the face of the earth. They do got weapons. They are a talented team. Let's keep something in perspective. They got talent. It's just that it don't when it needs to count. That's the problem. And you know what I'm talking about when they got to go Super Bowl upward. They got talent. Just like Lynched and Put, they got talent. They just underachieve. That's all. He can win some games. He better. Because if he don't, shenanigans is gonna be in the hot seat, which he should be. Two Super Bowls that you choke, four NFC championship games and you choke one. I don't know what kind of video Shanahan's got on him or Lynch got on him, but I'm like, those are fireable offenses for all that to underachieve. 88. Ooh, ooh. Only 12% is saying yes for Diddy. Ooh, they can forgive. Wow. This is crazy. This might be my most one-sided poll that it's like, whoa. But I think it's some industry up in here too, though. It's gotta be. They saw the title and there's no way in the world they're gonna give Puffy. And I'm gonna say it like this. You can't be mad at him because he got away with what he got away with because he was living his, you know. But there's more to it that goes on. And by the way, Puffy will he ain't safe on the streets. They want him. They want to do something, they will. Ice Cube called it. When they done with you, that's why they put you. They got no more use for him. We could talk about the Diddy safe entry. Okay, Jay Will, that's a great question. But he ain't gonna be safe nowhere because they're gonna try and take his money and they're gonna try to this is done on purpose. This is when I talk about institutionalized systematic racism, is what I mean. You don't go from being worth a billion, all that. It's Muhammad Ali Fayyad, the one whose son was involved with Diana, Lady Diana. They just got him out for being His whole thing just got came up, but he died last year, 94. Everybody's talking. That used to be how it went when you were worth billions. That's why I don't believe these Forbes magazines telling you these rappers worth all this money. People used to keep their mouth shut. Now they don't. Bill Belichick in a blowout. Let me tell you something. And aside from the 46 defense with the Bears, Buddy Ryan, only thing you remember from Buddy Ryan after the Bears was punching old boy in the face on the sidelines for Houston. That's all you remember him for. And his overrated sons with their coaching and coordinating, which had some success, but they had either more known for their hair or their mouths. Overrated. Belichick with the Giants, formula to beat the Bills, same formula as a coordinator, what it is a head coach against the Rams. The man knows X's and O's and how physicality. So that's a no-brainer. Even though he may have been allegedly rolling extra side camera in his side pocket, but he had multiple incarnations for what he did. Buddy Ryan didn't really show me much of nothing. That thing in Philly where he rested, he couldn't coach offense, and he was just as a coordinator, and he didn't really go nowhere. So, well, I got to keep it 100. You asked the question, so I'll just answer how I answered it. That's all. And I do remember very well. Mm-mm. That right hand combo is the last thing we remember from Buddy Ryan and his long haired 7-Eleven slurping son with the long throwing his hair around who coached all half the defensive coordinators and all his teams kept getting blowed out every Sunday. You remember the one, see him over there all the time, throwing his hair back like he was Fabio and his team's getting blowed out. And then Rex would talk trash and then burn his bridges with the Jets and then lost out with Buffalo. Those two AFC championship games with the Jets was nice. He just didn't get to finish the product. But then he came over to Buffalo and he talking about he was gonna kiss Belichick's rings. Well, you didn't have to worry about that because you didn't last long enough to see him. And he still packed up wins against you. So I don't really talk about that. Yeah, I guess you kind of know how I feel about old buddy Bountygate, Ryan, and their antics. They're like father and son wrestling crew that, you know, it's comical. I didn't have a side because I respected the team. So I didn't have a side. Mike Dicker they did good enough with Walter Payton and they emulated the 49ers, if you must know 40 years ago. The 49ers, everything the 49ers did, the Bears did because they lost one game the whole season. The 49ers had a guy that they used as the fridge. The Bears adapted that. It was copycat. Dick always talks this old school, but he was following what was happening. But let me be real with you. They was the talent that carried that squad. Neither one of them turned out to be much of nothing. How did Dicker look with the fake Milli Vanilli dreads in New Orleans with Ricky Williams and that whole fiasco? Mr. Also, I ain't known about no racism in the 60s. I ain't seen nothing. Mr. Just, he just, no, neither one of them showed me nothing post Chicago. So they both shared the Super Bowl. That was a 1 year great wonder. Maybe arguably the greatest 1 year's defense team I've ever seen. But what else? Remember a few years later, they played against the 49ers in the fall, but won the games and got their butt expanded to them. Never did anything with uh, uh, Jim McMahon, and it just became a joke. So I ain't got nothing to say. I don't have no side in that. And I don't like Dicker. So I guess I would be more Buddy Ryan because his defense did come up big. I don't. It was past awful because that dreadlock performance with Ricky Williams was a joke. And Ricky went to Miami and looked good. Played good in the snow, was balling. Signed a bad contract with Master P. Had crazy incentives that just could not come to be. So, but Dicker was overrated and he was a curmudgeon crying about when he was on NBC with OJ and Joe Gibbs. I remember. And he still sounds the same. He's just old big old meathead. They ran him because that's what you did back then. Too bad he didn't get to play when Dan Marino was around. Made have changed their fortunes, you know. Ricky would have still been fine if they just let him smoke joints on the sideline, you know. He'd been all right. He failed in Miami because he tried to change the culture. He had a quarterback that was a top tier. This ain't like when you coming in between Steve Walsh and Troy Aikman, and then you go with what the hot young hand. Marino was a proven vet. That wasn't going to work. Great question, Ted. Great question. I gotta say Mike Tomlin because he can win with anybody back there. That's the reason why I have to. Think about it. Tony Dungy did do that with Sean King when they went to the NFC Championship game with Tampa Bay. But however, he rolled up with Peyton Manning. Pretty much, because I think he'd been all right. He just wanted to light up. That's all. But I think that you gotta say Tomlin. I mean, look at what he's got at quarterbacks. Come on now. Somebody else have Justin Fields and Russell Wilson past the pull date. I don't think they're gonna be 2-0. And the quarterbacks he's had to deal with post Roethlisberger. I mean, the man showed he can coach. He can coach. Dungy was great, but Dungy defense, there was a different eras. Tomlin been in the era where offense has been the juggernaut and to still thrive with what I call third tier quarterbacks. Let's keep it real. Justin Fields right now would be considered third tier quarterback. He's not seeing Kyler Murray, and he sure as heck ain't seeing seeing Patrick Mahomes or Lamar. So come on now. You know the thing about Sapp, there's things with him I bop to, and there are things I don't. What did Chucky Gruden do? He took over a man's team, kind of like Steve Kerr with Mark Jackson. But see, the difference is Steve Kerr kept on winning rings. Chucky was mediocre. Got shipped back to the Raiders, mediocre. Here he gives you two outer body seasons out of 12. What are we supposed to do with that? He's two out of because he's one of those coaches. He'll have that couple of them great years, and then he'll have like 5 mediocre years, and he'll have a couple of years where you're kind of like, eh. That's how I look at Chucky Gruden. I know Keyshawn said the same thing too, and Sapp and Keyshawn don't get along, but yet they tend to say certain similar things. But I don't know about no two nights. I didn't watch it. I never cared for him. And so when everything came out about him, I wasn't shocked or surprised. I never really cared for him. I can debate about the fumble gate with Brady. You can make a debate about that, but he got his behind. He got embarrassed back with the Raiders, and he all dude make the most stupid Chucky faces. The team's getting clocked. I never got the vibe with him. I was never feeling him. So I'm not a Chucky fan. So I didn't waste my time with it. And you saw what they thought of him. They pulled his name off the crew, off the wall in Tampa Bay. They must have known something was up with him because they pulled his name. Yep. They pulled his name off the walls. I know that. I remember reading an interview with him. He did an interview with Playboy a long time ago. And they asked him what kind of music he like. He said, I like Prince because he's like could move and tackle. Certain things he said. But he was like Mr. Dungy and all saying the right proper things. But see, this is the thing. They don't pull him off the league or pull him out if they didn't have something to go along with. And you know what? We don't usually talk about it when it comes to white entertainers or spokespeople or something like that, right? But he took somebody off because they ain't bring his behind back. And I give you a case in point. Even even old Kurt Schilling had multiple chances before they said, "Look, we're not gonna bring you back." But this cat, TV, and with the commentator on the sideline. So when there was smoke, there was fire. They got him up out of there. They got him up out of there. So they got him up out of there. 28 now, 86. So 86 say no, 14. Oof. It's a good question. The only problem is that Bill Cowher was only in one spot. So it's kind of, but if I'm going to be, I ain't going to say Vermeil because he went to two Super Bowls with two different teams. And he was great in college too. So I got to give it to Dickie V. It's almost unfair because Kyle was really good, but Vermeil did the thing. From that Philadelphia Eagles team 20 years later with the greatest show on turf for St. Louis, I gotta say Dick Vermeil. They each got one chip, and I know one. I want to say, yeah, 1-1 in the Super Bowl. That's a good question, but I gotta say Vermeil. To think about how he went from Ron Jaworski to Kurt Warner in 20 years, and the contrast of Wilbur Marshall and Marshall Falk, how he did, and he went out on top. I gotta say Dick Vermeil. Jimmy Johnson. Because Shanahan, aside from Denver and everything, happened to be. But see, Jimmy Johnson, just from college pros, I have to say he was a better coach. Shanahan would have been if he hadn't messed up Robert Griffin the third. He don't mess up RG3, we might be having a different conversation. And that alone, and then when he, without Terrell Davis and Elway, he was mediocre and he did okay with the Raiders. But you are talking about the father, though. You ain't talking about the son. As long as you talking about the father, you got to emphasize it. Kyle ain't worthy of neither one of them. Kyle Shanahan really is in the Marty Schottenheimer sweepstakes at this stage. I can't put Kyle with nobody that I consider, you know, because he ain't a finisher. Hey, you got jokes. You got jokes. I gotta get you a stage. You got some comedians up here. Tell Michael Robinson, you gotta watch out. Ted got some jokes. Drum roll. Yeah. I knew you were talking about the pops. Nah, I gotta give Jimmy Johnson that though. Jimmy Johnson came in and flipped Dallas's script. Actually, Aikman had to like under Tulich and had that team. They were on a certain gear. Shanahan did well with having Elway and Terry TD and Shannon Sharp and all that, and the defense. Remember all that. But Jimmy was yeah. Oh yeah, he wins. You're not going to have Jimmy Garoppolo miss that pass. And you ain't gonna forget first and goal, and all you got to score a touchdown to win the Super Bowl. You're not gonna do those boneheaded plays. I'm sorry, but you lost 2 Super Bowls at the 2 worst ways when you had 10-point leads in both games. You gotta make some sense. Tell me that you, played poker with Patrick Mahomes and you lost a buku money, and then I might believe you, but don't tell me that that's how you lose. And in that NFC Championship game when Matt Stafford throws that pass, dude drops that ball, but it's still a close enough game that you could have still beaten the Rams. Gotta do more. Well, he lost to Mahomes twice, so that might be something. Yeah, I mean, if you try to imply something about Shanahan, I don't know. I can't answer that unless, of course, I was a certain former president. I said, I can't believe you lost those jobs, those black jobs twice. You can't do the black job, bitch. So Gotta go get that black job. Yeah, that's the punchline. That's what you see in NFL right now, quiet as it's kept. That's why the roster, what they got playing quarterback, because I told you, can't hit what you can't catch. So it's not that they kumbaya in the NFL. It's just that hey, that's what the talent is these days. So gotta go where it's at. 87 says no. Ooh, 30, ooh, 30 votes. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. This is great. I'm liking it. The views are going up. Appreciate it. So keep it coming. Glad to see people coming through. Wish everybody would want to come on and hit the like and want to give a comment. Feel free. Don't be shy. The votes are coming on. So I saw that. He should. He should. Kamala won't give him one. Even though she did acknowledge his money, but that's another story. And that's hilarious that you type that too, because I'm like, why are you looking for a pardon if you what you think you know you guilty? What you looking for? Oh, actually it'd be something crazy like that that would actually don't get me started because if something like that happened, oh, so if we're talking musically, you know I was never a fan because he didn't do nothing. He wasn't a producer. He couldn't rap. That corny dancing, he did a little circle bop. He didn't write nothing, you know. Clive and Andre Harrell put him in position. He was a mailroom worker. Stacey Lattisaw, the artist, there's a video called Nail It to the Wall. That's where he got his debut in her video. You can see him when he was younger dancing and bopping near her. That's how he got hooked up to Andre Harrell, Uptown Records. I always was annoyed with his voice on those Biggie records. He was like, ha 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 ha. What's happening? How you doing, blockers? What's up? Welcome aboard. All I ever hear is ha 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 ha, bad boy. I thought we won't stop. Take that, take that, take that. It was annoying. And what trips me out is so-called hip hop heads and then people just showed you that it ain't nothing but a pull and string show. Cause they sit there and they tolerate him. They know he couldn't rap. They know he wasn't producing no beats, you know. But you see, this is why they've been pulling the okey doke wool on people's eyes. Hip hop used to be something that people used to, I'm gonna tell you a story when it was real scary. I remember 30 years ago, you couldn't even go to the Walmart and get hip hop records because they had them edited or they wouldn't put them in there. And cats in the biz when they were doing hip hop in the 80s and when the early 90s, they would have laughed at the thought of something because they used to call Hammer a sellout. People were clown. So all of a sudden he comes along and was sampling and all everything else, and they let him go. That's all it was. I seen the industry go. I seen cats go soft, like marshmallow soft. So when people talk about hip hop, I don't know what hip hop they talking about because they've been I mean, there's always been sampling in it. Run DMC did it, even though it didn't start off that way. He didn't do it in the sense of necessarily where he was like, yes, a boss and all that, but he did the stuff that people were turned off by because the KFC commercials and certain things that he would do like that. But he was from the streets though. I'm gonna tell you something, no matter what he did on the camera, he let it be known where he was from on the low low. I'll tell you that right now. But we never got him mixed up with Puffy though. Because he actually could dance. He actually could do something. And his crew came correct. But I will give Diddy, as far as doing, marketing, that cat knew how to style. Because Jennifer Lopez is a great example of it. He knew about style. He knew how to style you. He knew how to style and profile. He learned that with the right suits, the right gear. I mean, that's why Sean John was a big company. The man knew how to dress. He knew about style. J Lo was never better than when she was with him. That green dress that she rocked, um, 001. Yeah, man, style. The cat got style. You know what that's about. I thought I told you we won't stop. We gonna slide left and right. You know what's up with that. You don't. You know what's up with that. I hope you don't rip your pants, cause you, I don't slip. Know what they was doing? Everybody know what they was doing. And he wasn't putting it in his hair. I don't think he was, "Let me get my waves in." That's not what it was about. And he ain't got no Jerry. He had a little Lester, little curl. He ain't had no Jerry curl. Oh yeah, but it's the industry though. It's the industry. And the industry is like that. Stuff go on, you know. And his crib was an underground tunnel to the Playboy Mansion. It's industry. Now you know what you gotta worry about? You know what you gotta worry about? LeBron coming up to about he knows how to party. I'm a long way from home. But originally it was on the West Coast. East Coast, West Coast. I've been all over the states. Sure they did. Sure they did. You tell yourself that. Sure you did. I believe Vanessa got out of there because she would have definitely been. She had to look to be in the Diddy Bop. Kobe was trying to be hip. He never really did put himself in them situations though, but a lot of cats did. I saw that Diddy video with the kid on this talking about Shaq, calling out names. A lot of NBA players associate with him because association with Jay Z. I'm telling you, it's gonna come out. I saw LeBron talk about, did he know how to party? I'm like, you might lose all your hair if you got to go and testify. Might mess up your season. I'd only tell you to come to America if you got your money straight. Depends on what part of Europe you're in. Um, it depends. Depends because it's a different world. But anyway, okay, that's cool. Oh yeah, well, first of all, he's up there slurping with Warren Buffett. You got to see him with his running jogging crew. You know when you start to do a performance impromptu for Tom Brady in that stiff bougie setting, and they give you 3 claps, that should tell you that you're a long way from home, Jay Z. But he sold his soul long time. They have to. How you think you get to blow up in that business? They don't call them out because you know why? Because they're seen as a prominent black couple. They're seen as kind of like the image and the facade. And plus, people don't call out folks because they have acceptance. We live in a very accepting thing of seeing things but not holding things, you know? So it's kind of like if you pay me, feed me, I'll look the other way. But that industry is only one way. And if less you quit or you go away or you do something different, it's only one way. And they gonna own you. That's how it is. 81% saying no, 19 years. For okay. That's some 37 votes. I got a chance to probably break the record for my most votes ever for my first time. This gonna be something. They are, except for Marilyn McCool and Billy Davis Jr., but they're not considered the biggest, but uh they were low key and they still together. I ain't never heard no foolishness about nothing but them. They weren't as near as big. Some might say that about Whitney and Bobby, even though they were very hood though. They were hood. But you gotta understand something. When you're in that industry, You're bought and paid for. I don't know how many times I gotta keep telling people, show business is a bought and paid for gig. You know, everything comes with a cost. And show business includes your athletes too. It's all part of entertainment. If you're on TV and you corporate entity, they put a mark on you. They own you. They stamp you. And people don't think it's true until something happens, and then they're kind of like, oh, oh, because you know what? They will do you. If you ever saw the New Edition movie, and they got off the tour bus and they got dropped off back in the hood, that's what they do to you. New Edition got off that tour, they first couple tours, and had like what, $10 and about 20 Snickers bars, and that was it. That was it. New pair of shoes and some clothes. That was it. That's it. But this is what they do in the industry. When they dump you off, now they dumping folks off to the joint. That's the dump off. That's the jump off. But anyway, you gotta see it for what it is, not for the hypeable. Because it's not as long to the top as you think. So, but no one's gonna call out that because until they're coming for Jay's. That whole thing when Eve mentioned about him in the book about how he said, it's the little subtle things to start subtle to see something sticks. It's real slick. Then it goes up to something else. Beyonce's thing, you know, so it's all gonna be slow. But you gotta know it's gonna come fast too, because they associated with Diddy. And friends who associates in that proximity, it's only a matter of time before it snaps. Okay, Regal 99, I hope you're still around from Romania. I had the one cat earlier from Poland. I am sure glad that people are coming all over. It's great. We're sitting here just talking, conversating. So whatever goes on your mind, feel free. By all means, the people voting appreciate you. All the views appreciate you. Thank you so much. And that guy earlier, David, who's talking about the Interscope, appreciate that too. Mhm. Okay. Let's see what we got. Feel free to keep on talking. 'Cause people getting quiet now. If y'all getting sleepy, let me know. I'm fully wide awake. I don't think so. I think it's gonna be Jay-Z. I don't think they're gonna mess with Drake. They still got a few more years to get out of Drake. Now, if you're asking me, can the Kendrick diss tracks and stuff bury him? To an extent. Yeah, that's true about that, but they're not coming after him. I don't think. And it doesn't sell papers. There's nothing exciting about putting him in, cuffing him up and putting him before anything. That's not really an exciting takedown. It's gotta be somebody that you gotta see how they do it. They go for the takedown of somebody that's prominent. It's gotta be prominent. Drake's not prominent. Yeah, I know he's got all them streams and all that, but how many people are that invested in him? He's worse than Cosby. Worse. Cosby, to my understanding, doesn't have any situations that of Biggie or Tupac that you gotta kind of scratch. So it's worse. What's up, T2? Yeah, I heard about that. And did I do a video? I don't remember if I did it. Because I try not to talk about T.I. and that whole thing with him and Tiny. Because they would be in the Diddy section too. They just been paying stuff out. Because he did those bids already. And my buddy and I were still scratching our heads how he got so little time for his all that steel he had on him and the other stuff he had on him. I will tell you this. Gene Deal, who does interviews, said that the LA thing was suspect. And allegedly, that's why Keefe D keep there's a let's just say there's a pipeline of stuff going on. I got some theories about some stuff. I got some theories. And I do know Biggie wanted out because he was down with Lansing Rivera for Undies Entertainment. He's gonna take Lil Kim and Junior Mafia over there. So I think there was definitely something going on. Well, you know that movie was based on the old Sidney Poitier film. And that's what was amazing. He got to play in the movie with Felice Rashad, as he was also in that movie with Halle Berry 20 years ago. I, as an actor, he was okay. Do Broadway, to do theater? Are you serious? Yeah, he has a presence about him, but he ain't no actor. But he got hooked up. He got hooked up for a no talented jive turkey. He had hooked up. He got hooked up. To be honest with you, and I know this ain't gonna sound right to say, but this is my forum podcast, whatever you want to call it, and I share with everybody and appreciate everybody. The most offensive thing was him being an entertainer. Because I always was offended, but I always laughed. I call him Fluffy Puffy because he ain't do nothing good. He didn't mess with no, that was Stevie J, his best friend. Stevie J, who was a producer. He still is a producer. Of course, so TO2, Stevie J was messing with Eve when they were on Rough Riders. Stevie J is the one. Puffy and Faith, not that kind of dynamic, but it was Stevie J, who was part of the crew, who was the godfather of Biggie's son and Faith's son. That's who. Faith was a writer. And I do think that she got bought and paid to marry Biggie off. I do think it was a all industry situation. And then of course Puffy and Mary. So it's a whole lot of nobody saying nothing. If you want to say they got fame, but I don't know what they gonna do. One thing about Puffy, he put the money, he put the houses and the places in people's name. I don't know if his kids got that kind of skills. One of them sons is actually Al Sure's son, Quincy. So I don't know what they gonna do. But I got a feeling they might get set to talk or get caught up too. Because there's a female, uh, po- uh, she's a content creator named Love Jones, and sometimes she be on Storm and Rose show. She had a situation with two of his sons, and she was going kind of wobbly on the yacht last summer. Might check that out. Love Jones. She's real good and entertaining and stuff, but that was one to check out. She was on Storm and Rose talking about it. So his sons ain't out there. There's a lot going on. Family Feud. Because Wheel of Fortune is great for getting that money, but Family Feud, when it's done right, when Steve Harvey and Richard Dawson, Pat Sajak always put me to sleep. Vanna White, she was alright, but you know, I don't answer nothing stupid. So when I'm getting trolled, you guys to go. I don't know where these people be coming from. Hot box. I don't answer no stupid stuff like that. Well, R. Kelly was there, and so was Giselle Maxwell too. Um, I don't know if he what kind of watch he's on. I mean, I don't know. They hope he do. They're saying that in the media because they're gonna try to protect him. That's what's up. And it's words and stuff they putting it on. Yeah, Family Feud, Richard Dawson, all that stuff like that. Pauline was a trip. Pauline was I didn't know what Pauline's agendas was when I was a kid. That took time, but I figured it out though. I don't know who these people is up here trolling, but they got to go. Pauline was a little bit from, but I figured it out though. I know where he was at. He was center square, all right. Very center square. Love the Price is Right. Talked about Bob Barker. Bob's beauties. Bob Barker was a lot like Hugh Hefner, but said he was smooth and slick with it though. I heard about the Bob's beauties. And the black woman that was one of the beauties was also in Friday with Ice Cube and with Mike with Chris Tucker. You should check out if you haven't seen her. Chill out stories about Bob Barker. Bob was about that bark. Okay, I got 9 people in, 6 likes. Come on, hit some more likes up. Punch them likes up. Come on now. We got 77 say no. Okay. Yeah. And it was a lot like the Playboy Mansion too. I heard how Bob was just in his he had 2 fingers. He had two 10 fingers, getting the 10-finger discounts. Well, Paul Lynn was diva like. So he was entertaining. He was entertaining. So when you talk about Paul Lynn, you can fill in the blanks. Him and Charles Nelson Riley kind of like had that same aura when I'd see them on those TV shows back in the day. I just wasn't aware of certain things until, time goes on, you can really put it together. He didn't die mysteriously, but you can kind of guess if you see agenda. Yeah, there was an agenda though. Not quite that. Not quite that. Yeah, I watched that too. That wasn't quite how I would say he was taken out. But I'll say that, there was agendas. And people who know me know I will say, Ted don't know when I say Paulin was Starburst crew. Well, I'm going, oh, that's a good one, Ted. Ooh, oh, oh. I might have to say that for my video, but I'll do that for the month though. Oh God. I gotta go Fresh Prince, but it's close though. I'm gonna use that in the video though. Thank you. I'll give you a shout out on that one too. But in here, I'm gonna say Fresh Prince because I just happened to will, ironically, a Martin, but I just think that Martin's characters were more dynamic because he did more, but the cast was better for the Fresh Prince. And I'm going with it. Not no 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 no. Not with Paul Lynn. Not with Paul Lynn. How do I say this? Because I don't wanna I gotta word this in a way. So Starburst crew, and maybe Ted will help you with that. Starburst. Think about Starburst. He saved him enough. He let him, he got him into performing, got to eat, but he wasn't going against a political agenda. There you go. It wasn't going to protect him against, I mean, it's like a fine line, and there's the other line. Sammy was trying to walk around with blondes on his arms and, and have swag. And that wasn't going to be the case. They weren't ready for that. What's up? How you doing? Aaron Goswana, what's up? Thank you for coming through. Thank you, Ted, because I was trying to say it in a way so you too could understand what I was saying without saying it, because I can't say it out my mouth because you gotta say it in a way where, but yeah, that's what was up. I picked up on when I used to watch those clips. Didn't really get it growing up because you sitting there watching and this cat's got a lot of, you know, hint of frustration and madness. But then I was like, oh, okay. Hmm. All right, Karen, what's up? Let's holler. No, he was walking around with trying to have like Bridget Bardot's, and he wasn't just walking around Marilyn Monroe. He was, you know, and his thing was in them parties too. I mean, they were wild back then. Dean was smart, but Dean was kind of like Scottie Pippen to Sinatra's Jordan. And he played he was real watching his figure and his agenda while he was drinking and trying to keep that cool, you know, played the straight role. But he was kind of caught because he didn't quite have he was never gonna be Sinatra and he wasn't gonna be Sammy, but he had his role and he was respected and big, but it was kind of like at a standstill. Wheel of Fortune. So if you spin the wheel, they were so it's in his book. Did there was some witchcraft going on. There was all kinds of, you know, I mean, I told you about Hefner and Playboy and all that. There anything went, and you gotta remember something. If I put powder on the table and your eyes get bulged and but he was, as an entertainer. And again, um, not even about the kiss to Archie Bunker, which was classic by the way. But that wasn't, but there were other things going on. There were other things going on. It was wild. Let's just say it was wild. And in Puffy's defense, they really ain't doing nothing no different than they used to do. It's just that we got more access to with cameras and you got more things, but it ain't nothing new under the sun. I can say what I'm about to. It's always been cheeks for checks and booty for looty. Cheeks for checks and booty for looty. That's all you need to know. You come in here, I've been saying that I should coin those terms because that's what it is. It's the booty for the looty and cheeks for checks. Ain't nothing new. Can't nobody say no different because I've been said that. Yeah, except he was very hetero. But yeah, they had all kinds of wild situations. He brought Playboy to the Lakers. He did. He had entertainment. That's what Jenny saw growing up. The only thing, I got much respect for Extra Beck because he was cool and what he did. The only problem is he tried to make you like you were dumb. That's when Ken Jennings came on there and bust them cakes and was winning, and he had to step back. The only problem I had with Jeopardy is like you could like answer like a whole board and you might walk away with like 25,000 and that might have been your total for like 4 days. That's too hard of a show to not get that kind of bag. So give me Wheel of Fortune any day because I can spin that wheel a few times and I might knock 50,000 up, might win a ride, and I might walk out with 80,000 worth. Jeopardy, that might take you like used to take you 2 weeks to crack that. No, bump that. Mm, I don't know about the crowd. I like it easier. Brother ain't trying to hurt his head. I want to get that money. I want to get smart. Stay home, try to get that money. Sitting up there trying to what is I remember when Reggie White was on there and Reggie White had like a -500. He's up there talking about he answered everything. Babyface? And when he got that one, he got on the plus side. Got time for all that? He knew the babyface question, who was tied Michael Jackson for most Grammy nominations. He got that, knocked that out quick. The other times he was getting beat bad. Thank you. Pretty much. I mean, Jeopardy's too hard because you got to sit there and get it, and then you don't get no money. You don't get no real money. At least with Will, you might walk up with 25, 30. You can get some loot. Don't get no loot or no Jeopardy. It doesn't pay to be smart. It pays to make money. And if you're trying to get smart, that's not for you. I'm just saying. Do what you got to do. I'll go somewhere where I got a chance. I got some hope. Hold on. Just saying. 76% say no, 24 yes for forgiving Puffy. Good poll so far. It's appreciate it. I don't know if people will come on in here because I see 200 plus views. Was more y'all come in here though. They did that on purpose. They did it on purpose. It's done like that on purpose, giggling and silly, but you know, of course it's like that in real life too. Jeopardy ain't for everybody. Not for everybody. Especially when you gotta do accents and tones and nouns and ask Rebecca be real ain't on like, well, you have to say bottle of beer. He didn't get too big. They just got done with him. I'm gonna tell you the real. If you want the real, I'm gonna tell you the real. He didn't get too big. They got done with him. He ticked off the wrong person, and then his money got funny. Talked about that liquor, and they was done with him. He ain't do nothing no different than he did 20 years ago. He's older, he's hitless, and they got no use for him no more. I loved it when Dawson and Steve Harvey, everybody else in between those, some of them cats were boring. They had one okay actor, gray haired cat that was hosting, which he was all right. But a lot of them turkeys in between were dry and boring. Steve Harvey saved it. He was like he was made for Family Feud. Best comedy that he do. But yeah, that's all it was with Puff. He ain't do nothing different. They just, you know, when they ain't got no use for you, what happened? That's what happened with R. Kelly. You see, you're gonna sit here and see this is the thing. They taking these cats out when they're at an age when they near retirement or they could probably, but when it was peak time, money time, they weren't trying to get them off the street. Now they getting them off the street. It ain't slick. Cosby was 80 plus, and he shouldn't even been locked up. That was like a double jeopardy, but that's also to keep him in line. So they used that fourth tier comedian to say that stuff about him on stage, actually on YouTube. I can't think of that cat's name right now, but that's what they used. So yeah, he is, and he can't see nothing. It's in Philly, but no one's gonna touch him. OJ was big. He was a four tier, and OJ maybe what? OJ's situation is completely different though, but he was the blueprint to like someone that was large that they end up going to the courts. Z list. Oh yeah, what's his name? It was starts with the H and it ends with the B. Because it's all on YouTube. He's the one that said it about Cosby on the stage. And I was thinking, that turkey? Because that cat was real generic. Real generic. I mean, he makes Jared Carmichael look like the second coming of Dave Chappelle, and Jared Carmichael's third tier boring, puts me to sleep. And I don't know how he really got his height. I want to say the cat's name is Hunter, but it's not. It's Hannibal. Hannibal. That's who it is. Hannibal Burrs. That's the one that got on stage. Jared Carmichael sucks. Okay, I'm sorry. He made Ari Spears like the second coming of Richard Pryor. I mean, he is horrible. He's corny. I watched that cornball show he had, and I thought, how he get this gig? Then I thought, must have been at a Diddy party or somebody party because I didn't get it. I was like, this cat's not funny. Not funny. Didn't get it. Didn't get it. Back in the day, oh yeah, obviously George Carlin, back in the day, Robin Williams, John Belushi had he lived was a bad one. Sam Kinison, quite a few. Steve Martin, because Bowfinger was my last favorite Eddie Murphy movie. Oh yeah, if you got something going for you. Not no Jerry Seinfeld, so don't even think I do, because I don't. I had respect for Lenny Bruce back in the day. And I used to like what Carol Burnett did, the physical, and some Vicki Lawrence too. Physical comedy. Yeah, he would. So hey, look, I'm not limited with you know, if you're funny, but it's different. Obviously, the humor hits me differently though. Back in the day, I used to like Marsha Warfield. Monique, Monique moved me. Um, um, most of my favorite comedians, most of my favorite female comedians are from back in the day. Um, I'm trying to think who else. I mentioned some. There was some that I definitely, I thought Vicki Lawrence was funny. Mhm. She sing and she could perform. Cause that whole Carol Burnett thing was great to me. So, LaWanda Page, Mom's Mabley. There you go. Yeah. Mom's Mabley was funny. LaWanda Page was hilarious. So there you go. Like Carol Burnett. And you know how tough it is to host a variety show and connect it with the characters and to do that and the era that she did it in? So I always got much respect for her. I used to like that show. Lucille Ball was bad. Yeah. She had good one liners. She was cool. Mhm. I don't even talk about him because you want to talk about somebody that sold out. And that was bad in itself. And I was he walks around trying to say stuff, trying to create like he's doing something deep and profound. They laugh at him too, and they cringe at him. A long time ago. Always was looking for acceptance too. You want to talk about the shuffleboard promenade deck, you know, because he did that whole routine about the N word and black folk and stuff like that. And people went on that because he somehow got, but see, the problem is his career never went nowhere. Aside from that longest yard reboot, he had no film career. No one took him serious like that. As a matter of fact, before Will Smith gave him the KFC two-piece special, how he was hosting Oscars is amazing because usually that's reserved for people that still kind of count as an MC. It's telling that since that whole situation, Will's got the movie, the music, I felt stuff still going strong. Chris never had it like that. Never. I think that's the wake up call right there. I can appreciate him not pressing charges brother to brother because he could have. However, his career never quite got for all that hype he got. It didn't really go nowhere. Not like that. He's got his fans, but it's not what you think though. 54 votes so far, 74% say no, 26 say yes. All right, now these people out here, y'all want to keep on voting. Appreciate that. I'm noticing who sucked. Steve Kiff said he sucked. Well, I don't even know if he passed. And the thing about it is Kevin Hart had a different. Um, you talking about Diddy sucked? Okay, Kevin Hart a different audience than. It's ironic because Kevin Hart, yeah, he did. I said that. Kevin Hart wasn't really touted as a baby Eddie Murphy, Junior Wop, but they all cut from that cloth. Chris Rock did do Beverly Hills Cop too, but he just never was a leading man. And Kevin Hart somehow he got in. Now, no matter what you roll on the couch or what you do, there's no guarantees that you're gonna connect with the audience. You don't have 20-year careers just based on so something has to be there. So, you know. Yeah, there was not the Diddy thing music, it wasn't because of him. By association. That's a fact. So 57 votes, 74% say no, 26 say yes. I think this gonna be a one-sided affair. I don't think that's gonna change much. I'd be very surprised. Yeah, I was never feeling him musically. In fact, that's what I cringe more than anything. And I'm not disputing the circumstances because stuff be violent, sad. But my more offense was that he was considered an artist. Like they was happen to sit there and let him go, ah, ha, ha, take that, ha, 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 and do all that. Cause I can do that. I can walk down the street. I thought I told you. Well, yeah, cause it's happening right now. No, no, it's a game that you understand that you have to play. Yeah, thank you, Ted. It really is. I was thinking about Shine and just hit with the people. So next time I go, I got, a hot topic. It's a hot one. Um, Now you make money, but the thing is Cosby wanted to buy NBC and he had his own that they covered him because everybody got a videotape and they got recorders and they watch you in Hollywood and it goes both ways. You just got to keep your mouth stay out of sight. But and he was very opinionated about younger black entertainers and things that he saw. But you can't cut both ways because they gonna cut you because they got you too. And what he was doing, which was not technically against laws back then, but what they're doing as far as Puffy, everything he stopped making the money, and then he spoke out against the liquor. That's what I still say got him. Year ago, he's winning this lifetime award and grinning and getting the key from Eric Adams and all that. Had he settled with Cassie, had he kept the alcohol, but he called him out. He can't do it. Cosby on Eddie Murphy? What you mean? What do you mean when you say Cosby on Eddie Murphy? Oh yeah, Eric Adams got a lot of going on. If you're in New York and you're a politician, you automatically got some with you. They still talking about um, Andrew Cuomo. So yeah, that's true. Yeah, Cosby and Eddie, that was, like, oh, you don't be using that language, Eddie. And then well, no, the Cosby thing was back in the day. It's just that and Eddie had his issues too. They all got something on everybody. There gonna be somebody that's gonna come and pass him up. I'm telling you, Ted. There's always one. They don't want to be left behind. They say he can't have it all. Come here, masses. Come here, masses. Watch. You'll see. Just when you think you can't shuffle with someone come along and they'll hit the board. They gonna hit the board. It's always there. It never fails, especially when it's politics season. But someone's gonna definitely come. Somebody will do it. As Puffy say, "Come and shake your tail feathers" with Murph Lee and with Nelly now. Hey, you think it's tough to beat, huh? You think so? You didn't think Tim Scott could be beat, did you? You think Herschel could be beat? I'm telling you, they always got one that's gonna try to outdo the other. I'm telling you. You'll be very surprised. You could say that about Puff if you want to. Yeah, but the thing is that back in the day, it wasn't two things at work. That was known that people did it. And the second thing was no one was coming for him until he got older and the money dried up. And then that's when they let Hannibal Bird, those guys do that. They don't, believe me, they be waiting on it. You know who the biggest one is so far. He's locked up right now. That's who's number one. Yes, he is. I didn't say it wasn't wrong. He did what was allowed at the Playboy Mansion. He was doing what they all did. It's just that he got caught holding the bag. That's all. And he haven't admitted. But he said the stuff that they all do. That's the part that doesn't get talked about. They all in on it. But as Paul Mooney used to always say, when you got the complexion for the protection and I throw in for the direction, it's a different situation. Cosby had to know better than that. That's what's all I'm saying. Yeah, you already know who's the number one, Ted. I ain't got to you. Because it's it's the Diddy Bop. That's who's the number one. And you might ask why I'm worse than Mark Robinson because if you're talking in the mere mortals, and he's bad, but it's Puffy, yo. It's Puffy. Daniel Cameron got his wake up call. He ain't gonna win no Kentucky. Yeah, these cats in politics are doing what openly with it, but they ain't got the kind of bag though. They ain't reached those kind of levels. All right, I'm almost getting towards 10 likes on this thing. Keep it coming. 7 people in 10. And I see more views are coming through, so keep it coming. Yeah, worse. No, Sidney Poitier is not. No, he's not. Jaguar Wright was talking about him. No, he's not. Not if you know about how he did Diane Carroll and the whole situation. Nope, 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 nope. Jackie Robinson, I got respect for. Didn't hear too much. No weed. He can't beat it. He'll have to he can't beat it. They got enough on him to bury him. But he can snitch and maybe get him out by 75. I got respect for Jackie Robinson. He did some things, but he wasn't like those cats because where he was coming from. He went through some things though. His was different. Well, Sidney Poitier, Diane Carroll, you need to look it up. He was known for partying and excess, but he was the right image, the right clean cut, the right build that they wanted. Great actor. And I hold him in high regards. However, he was a pre Diddy, he was a pre all that. And who he do his biggest movies with that appear to be cool in the 70s. It was what's happening in sports space. He worked with one Bill Cosby. And they all connected. Jackie was Republican. Jackie went through all the hate playing baseball, the black cats, everything. I have a tendency to feel for him for his time. because he talked about what he went through. Yeah, the actors are all fake and bought and paid for. But I'm just saying, they worked together in those movies and he knew what was going on. They always had Sydney as the uppity, upstanding brother, and it was done on purpose. It was really cleaned up. If the truth comes out, you don't look at none of them. You look at all of it because it's Hollywood. She's 100 years old now. I love Let's Do It Again, Uptown Saturday Night, and A Piece of the Action with James Earl Jones. I can tell you verbatim, I watch their movies all the time. Yeah, yes, he did. And did Diane Carroll dirty too. Dirty. Gotta Google it. And then next time next time you talk to me, you'll know. It's all there. It's all there. But he was tailor made for the industry. And he worked it like a charm. And they pretty much kept him as the only brother winning that Oscar like that until Denzel came along. They had other bleeding men, but you know how the industry was cold. When I think about how they used to do stuff, it was bad. Yeah, he did Diane Carroll dirty. Mhm. We don't really talk about him much because they made him as this a tour, and he was this. But you know, he was hanging out with Cosby in the back in the day. You know, look at by association. I liked him as an actor. I'll leave it at that. Rest in peace. I liked him as an actor. I'll leave it at that. 75% say no, 25 say yes, 63 votes. So, yeah, the votes is really good. I think I picked a good night to come on here. I got real live wires tonight. This is great. I'm gonna definitely do 23 more minutes because I want to push it over to 2 hours. So yeah, I'll be on for about a half hour more. I'm feeling it tonight. Glad everybody's coming through too. Shine thing is taking off. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you now, non-entertainers. Malcolm X said, "Don't be looking at them for no role models." He said back in '62. You can look up his quote. He wasn't lying. There were some who were down for the cause, and there were some that were just whatever and whatever. So I'm glad you came through, T2. I mean, I'm glad to have you aboard. I do my videos, they come out every day. And so when I do live streams, I haven't done a Saturday night in a minute, but I'm glad I came tonight. I'm glad you came. Oh, it's a good thing I came across you. Got some great questions. Yeah, I'm hoping they do something this year. I hope so. I mean, Aaron Judge, for all that stat padding, he better bring it because they got to do it. Got to get by Houston. Got to do it. Yeah, hope they can do it. I don't get, as I told Ted, who's long term, we've been cool for a long time. I don't get crazy about the Yankees, and I'm waiting for October. Soto's bad. He's a great fit. I just want them to get it done when it counts, not the 90 wins and stat pad. Yeah, but I'm scared because I'm a Michigan Wolverine fan, and they don't look that good this year. I am. First of all, and Alabama looks so happy with no Nick Saban, so they ain't very happy. It's gonna be a tough year for me. I know Ohio State's gonna get the love. I'm not even, and I'm looking at Georgia. They gonna want some revenge. You know, it's I watch it, but I know my team ain't that good. That's the tough part. Well, he came through in '09, so I give some of that to was it Cameron Diaz or Kate Hudson? Read the blonde that came through. His bat woke up. So, but yeah, I didn't really catch the college football today because I had to take care of some business. But I'll look at the highlights. I'll skim through. I think I saw last week though. I was watching the Washington Huskies. They lost their game, so they won't get no love nowhere. They ain't get no bowl. They're gonna get like the fruit of the loom bowl. So I can already tell some teams is already done. Yeah. Yeah, Kate Hudson, because I got it mixed up. I knew it was one of them. Anyway, he played out his mind, so yeah, he was balling, he was playing. Alabama, Georgia. Oh, I know Georgia wants some revenge. They got a good case too, because if it wasn't for that game, they may and they were a one-loss team. They didn't get a chance to repeat. So yeah. Oh, that's a big loss for Mississippi State. They supposed to gotten some love. That's a biggie. I want to know where the Penn State heads are because they know usually they got to feel good this year. They got a chance to beat Michigan. Better not get smashed by Ohio State. That's all I got to say. Mhm. I don't know what to expect out of SC and UCLA though. So, and I watch it, but I don't really get into college football. USC and Michigan, what? Don't tell me that's who Michigan's playing because they'll probably get smashed by them. Everybody's all about Colorado because Dion got all the hype too. They always have a good team. They always usually lose those 2 games. You know who they usually lose to? They're the very good team, but they're never the great team because they lose those 2 games if you're Penn State. You know what I'm talking about. Penn State fans know what I'm talking about. This is the year they probably got a chance, though. We'll see. Did he got his master? Oh, so you know he's got the publishing. Joshua's home. The publishing company went back to he bought it from him. Biggie's mama's not happy about it. But the thing is, it's hard to prove. And the other thing is, nobody cares about Biggie's situation. They're all about Tupac. I'm just saying, it's not the same romanticism. Just saying, it should be though, but it's not because if it mattered, yeah, you told me that about Paul Finebeam. I can't really take him too serious though. He's just another plant by the ESPN place. Well, he bought. So what's happening, Josh Brun? He bought his publishing though. And if any insurance, well, I will say this: it's not so much about him; it's the industry that buys insurance on their artists. So Clive Davis, that's who you need to, you know, the ones who run these companies are the ones who take out insurance on these artists. That's oh yeah, that's a good topic you brought up, Josh, because it's the industry that takes out insurance on artists. Well, let's be realistic. If they're flying you up in an airplane or you go somewhere else and something happens, so, but that's a whole nother story. Well, Pac was a lyrical beast as a poet, and he's the one who cultivated Biggie's style from the way but Biggie did fashion his styling off of Pac. So there was, I'm not disputing it, but it would have been through Clive Davis. That's what Puffy would have gotten his authorization from. Yeah, well, Mason Cameron got their show on YouTube. Should check it out. And Michael Irvin's on there. It's funny. Mason's in a different space right now, though. No, and none of them were no angels. Ain't nobody gonna say there was no angels because you understand what you are dealing with. You know who you're rolling with. And you know that there are no saints in that industry. That's the music business. It's a business. You know, if you go to churches and you got to worry about some of the preachers acting a certain way, or some of the ministers or the priests, what you think you got to worry about in the music business? Oh yeah, easily a 304. Because she was messing with this cat named Ryan Leslie. Had that song Diamond Girl. I remember like yesterday when they came out. I don't think it's gonna bring a new light to it. I just don't. Everything right now is centered around Pac, Keefy D. And the thing about it is with Biggie is that they've used his music, they've used his imagery. I don't think they really are really putting a big interest in it. It's deeper than you think, but it's some twist to it too. Now, I ain't with no shame involved because she got the bag. She was a marginal person that was there, below average singer who was an imagery, and she was there. There was no shame. Point is that she did Kendrick's Spirit Up with Kim Porter. Her book is out. The excerpts are coming out. She dropped a lot, but Ella is an industry plant based anyway. Diddy white friend turned in him. Biggie's mother does. Oh yeah, Violet Wallace. She still talks about it. Faith won't though. Stevie J won't. See, the whole thing was so orchestrated that it was really embarrassing when they had his funeral and drove him through Bed-Stuy and all that. It was so choreographed. And I'll be missing you and all that. Just fake. That's the industry though. Gotta understand it's the industry. They don't care. They make more money off of you buried than they do alive. And they think, he's done, but is he really done? He ain't done for them making money off of him. They still gonna make money off of him. He done in terms of them wanting to put him on a stage or do stuff like that. But he not done for the there gonna be a lot of heads. Their heads swirling now. People quitting their jobs. Kevin Lyle. I did a video about Kevin Lyles and them. It was orchestrated. That's why I can't take none of it serious. See, when you understand about street culture and then you bring that to the industry, which they do, it's a lot more going on. Oh, it was. But you gotta remember who are the people behind it. She's never stopped being on it. The problem is that there's no push for it. There was a guy at LA, a detective, who was in on it, but he tried to bring the interest up. Yeah, they came up with that corny movie. Mhm. Remember the movie about Biggie? Did the movie. You can't trust the industry when they're doing movies and topics. They got a way of whitewashing stuff and homogenizing it. That's what you're seeing. So I'm just telling you what I see it as. That's how they do. If they were always about some justice, they would have been pushing it. To an extent, he do, but not like what you think. It's only because it's pile on time. And it's pile on time for some who've been wanting him to go down for his antics. It's pile on time for those who are scared of his antics. And it's pile on time for those who don't want, because it's a distraction from the election, even though both your politicians, as I speak, have association and proximity to him, as did the Obamas. All of it is connected. It's a big old circle. The Diddy bop, 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 boom, bop, bop goes back. You look at the old shirts about the politics. I'm telling you, it's there. Because he emerged when Bushy Jr. was in. It's all connected. It's all connected. I don't know who this is, and I got another somebody coming in here. It's always gotta be one. We having a good live stream and someone gotta come in here with this mess. I don't know who that is. Got time for that. But I welcome questions and comments and we keep it moving. It's been a great Saturday night too. 72% say no, 28% say yes. USC versus Wolverine. USC should win. If we beat them, that's a big W, but I don't think so. They trying to bury Wolverines this year though. Michigan's offense has been kind of stagnant. Yeah. Not really. It was a trade off. It was to mirror and to sell an agenda through the media with East Coast, West Coast. They were both used as pawns. Not weird. Not weird at all. If you think about it, it's used as bait. It was some twisted fantasy to blow them up, pun intended. And then mantra, being young as they were, martyrs. Martyrs is what I want to say. I mean, you got to look at some of the stuff that was going on because remember, when Snoop came out, Death Row. Look at the labels and everything. He's not cancel culture. Nobody is though. It's not no one really gets canceled because they're still making money off of them. They're gonna find a way. I don't know where these people be coming from with this disrespect, but they got to go. Who used them at bait? The industry used them as bait. And remember, Tupac was close to Puffy. Now, see, I could go into something, but I gotta watch how I word it. But I think there was more going on with a whole lot of, and about what you want to do, how you want to do, where you want to go. There's a lot going on with that. I think it was pretty deep. Sometimes I used to watch Professor Griff. He got some good videos too. If you get a chance, check out Griff. Besides him and Jaguar Wright, Storm Monroe, and Wendy Williams, who dropped the bombs way back. He don't swing all the ways, and he actually had talent as a coach. What team wants it? Well, you know what? I can't say that he got complexion for protection. He do got chips, so he can get him a gig again, as long as he ain't in the pros. But why does Urban Meyer come across like Middle America Rick Pitino? And there's a lot similarity. Why is that? Why is that? Except Patino was better in the pros. If Urban Myers had to go through the pros again, he might get exposed for being fraudulent. Just saying. Okay. He, yeah, because his stuff. Because if you when you mention his name, that's the first person came to mind. There's a lot of certain similarities there, but it's different. But he has success as a coach. He's been successful. And they don't and that's why there's no such thing as council culture and nothing like that, because they actually cared about all the shenanigans. Urban Meyer would be boycotted. Deshaun Foster, I like him. I like him. They got a nice squad. LSU gonna be tough, but we got a nice young squad. I like what he's doing. I was glad he got the gig. That's funny though. You the first person I ever heard call Urban Meyer like Diddy. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. If you're into certain things and concoctions and you mixing and batters and stuff, if you You can do a lot of stuff if that's industry parties are nothing new. I've been hearing about that forever and a day. I heard about that. And you won't talk about a cat that they didn't bury him. That's a good example. And it's a crying shame too, because that cat should have about 20 offers in the NFL easily. Easily. If you're coaching the Chicago Bears, the enemy should have your job. If you're coaching the Cleveland Browns, he should be having your job. I can name teams pretty much. And now that they're not that good, they weren't that big. They weren't that big. They were big in name, but the people that were behind them were big. Suge Knight, Puffy, Jimmy Iovine, and Clive Davis. And people have been using film, and that's nothing new. They bring them in there for that. What do you think the baby oil was for? Wasn't to keep their skin dry. What you think? I mean, they know what goes on there. Lucrease, what's it? Lucrease, the minister rapper. He saw some stuff. He did a video about it, and he's a minister rapper. TD Jakes Cakes was there too. What you know about old TD Cakes, Patty Cake, TD Cakes? Check up there. TD Cakes, Jakes was there. They all be up in there. They know what's up. It's a little game they play like to get all Scooby on you. Yeah, some of them are hidden, some aren't. But you can't use your yeah, that's true. You can't use your camera. I think the thing was going off on back now. Suge played a role. Suge played a role. But he even said that Puffy was more extreme. Like he was. You know about Fleece Johnson? There you go. Can I say that? When I thought about Johnson Johnson, I'm thinking about Fleece. Yeah, if you watch Fleece Johnson videos, you think about the bottles. And you go about it. That's what I thought. I thought about Fleece. Fleece would have done good at a Puffy party. Because you know where this is going. You know where this is going. My cousin called it Caligula. She called it Caligula. It was extreme, and yeah, that's what's up. Okay, probably so. Probably so. Can you hear me okay? Because I've been on for a while, and I'll probably be on for a little while longer. It's probably been my most biggest night. It's been incredible. This is a great night. I mean, like, the got a lot more views than usual. I haven't really even done a Saturday before, but yeah, this is great. Not like this. This has been incredible. And the Shyne video is off the chain. 72. 75% say no, 25 say yeah. Sometimes the volumes be, you know, can't say what's up, but I am getting the messages though. It's one of them things that, yeah, been on because they hit the recount on me because, sometimes with the circuits. I like to think that just because we stopped doing it. That's the only thing I like to attribute to. Because I bring it back. I'll definitely bring it back. We can start a whole new season of it. Actually, the thing is, we did it during the basketball. We don't do it for football. Football is tougher than basketball because basketball you can identify them. Football it take too much head work because now you get somebody like Deshaun Watson. You got to wonder where he's in. Okay, let's do it. I want to do it too when we get to like basketball season. You got a whole lot of crew of people to bring, so I think I like it for basketball. Basketball's probably my favorite one to do it with. Football is tough because you know, yeah, they were, they were. Well, we were tapping into some. We were hitting it where we were talking about some folks. Oh, we're gonna bring it back because Gilbert Arenas is definitely gonna be. When I get into some basketball, he definitely trolling. Him and Nick Young, I'm definitely gonna yeah write those two names down. We're gonna definitely the comedy I got for them to them turkeys. Hmm. See, basketball is the best one to do it because I can't even do it with football. Because if I was saying bum scrubs and never was, is what I say about Justin Fields, and then you don't know where to put him. And then you can't say that about Derek Carr because he's playing out his mind right now. You see what I mean? Kyler Murray, where you at? It's tough. But in basketball, you can do it. Football, you can't. That's the difference. So, oh, we're gonna get him. You know who I think is my favorite there? It's I like. I always talk about him. He's on the show with him, and not Bruce Hart either. But Wiles. Wiles is my favorite. Wiles is the only. Wiles should have his own show on FS1. We can do that one too. That'd be a good one. There's a lot of candidates for that one. You want to go actors, actresses, music artists, sports. There's a lot to choose from. Believe me, there's a lot to choose from. Hmm. A lot with no shame and a lot of dude, a lot of them. You know what? He's the ultimate contradiction because he plays both sides and he knew how to contradict better than almost any rapper I've ever seen because the facade of him is so laid back, but yet, and he never get caught. He's kind of like he tweened himself, but he never got caught out on politics. So that's the one thing that saves him. Taylor Swift, that's comical. Yankees and Dodgers I like, but you never know. It could be I don't know Baltimore, Philly. I like the Yankees and the Dodgers. I just don't know. It's hard to say. But Baltimore won't go away. And one of those teams in the American League Central looks legit. I'm sorry you can't hear me because Ted can hear me, but I'm sorry you can't. Yeah, in the American League, easily. Easily. When you do 50-50, easily. He's having a historically great year, you know. But he's got to win a chip, though. 73 votes for Shyne, 74 votes now. 76 say no, 24 say yes. That's the best poll I've ever had. And I got a feeling that this video will keep, well, this will be a keeper, which I like. I think we've had some real intriguing commentary. some good comments and some memorable things. Again, like I say, I do codes and stuff. You gotta be very, cool with what you say with certain things. But yeah, I think he is. He's what baseball needs. There's always one that comes along every so often. Can he stay healthy? Can he play on the winning team? Can he deliver? So that's how I look at it. Yeah, it's still 7-7. Don't get excited about that. It's a long game. LSU got to make a statement though, so we'll see. Appreciate the update though. UCLA been having heartbreak the last few years though. The great thing, I got 12, 13 likes in. Appreciate the likes coming in, the polls. Everything has been great. It's been one of the best days. Can't hear that on here though. I have to take out these. Um, he's in a lot of trouble. His money went funny, and they ain't got no use for him. That's what I think about it. And it could have happened any moment if they've been sitting and allow him to do what he do. It's nothing new. The thing is that will everybody who was involved really get brought down, or they just gonna use him and make him out like he's John Gotti? They gonna make him the big Don. That's what I think they usually tend to do. They usually don't bring anybody else out of this. They know it too. So unless they really go after all the figures involved, it's gonna be more of the same where he was a conglomerate by himself. That's what they try to sell you on. Ain't nobody worth no $1 billion and known all over the world. Do it all alone. Oh yeah, it's been going on. And thank you for coming from Thailand. Appreciate you, Charles. Ain't nothing new. His money went funny. He said the wrong thing, and now his ship be sinking. That's what's up. You mess with their money, they done. No, he don't know Suicide Watch. The reason why they say that is because that's what they hope. They don't want him to talk. That's what's up. He talk. He got to start talking. Will he talk? Thank you so much. Appreciate you, Charlie, and welcome aboard. I do more lives. I do videos. Feel free to comment, and if you got suggestions, by all means, appreciate you. The reason why they're saying it is because they're trying to make it sound like, ooh, believe me, if he was to go away today or tomorrow, his music gets played like crazy. It'll be a crazy boost financially, and it'll be kind of what it's strange stuff. You just can't even begin to imagine. Okay, Alicia, I'm reading that. That's quite profound. Very profound. Glad to have you come through tonight. Send me a view so far. 76% still saying no. They're not gonna forgive Puffy. They give more power to Shyne. They're not gonna forgive him. This has definitely been an incredible night, to say the least. They were, but then Usher's in on it too, because Usher knows more. They all in on it. When it comes out, it could wipe out half the industry. I don't think they're gonna want that to happen. if we're living in accordance to what you're supposed to, because there's too much money and too much ego and too much power, etc., involved. So again, like I said, they go after the fish who they want to pull out the water. It ain't all the fishes. Believe me, it's a lot worse. Yeah, but he got sold out. He was he was orphaned like to recruit by Puffy as a kid. His first album came out, and Usher was like a pudgy little kid, born like a Mac, and it didn't do nothing. Got sent to Diddy camp. They all do. That's what happened with Chris Brown. You know, they get you. Cats be around. That's how the game goes down. It is real like that. Ain't nothing nice. And that's a job. I think people forget that when we see as entertainment, and it is entertainment, but it's a job. You have to be told mentally to conduct your mind to be an entertainer, and then also all the this and that and everything and all that. Just work. She won't touch him. She won't, because why would she? Unless she was directed to. Oh yeah, there's suspicion, but again, it's the old adage: I can make more money without you here. That's how the mind game works. It's the old industry mind game. Actually, I thought of that with Elvis and Colonel Tom Parker because that was like one of the starts of it. And especially if you go young and they got the bag, it's deeper than you think it is. And no, because I don't get down like that. And two, I don't go to those kind of parties. And three, I don't like trolls. But we're having an adult conversation about stuff. So if you gotta ask questions, you can feel free to ask. You asking this time to talk sideways, you got to see yourself out. But there's a reason why he's in the business that allowed that to happen. Still 76 20 the percentages. So 80 votes so far. It's incredible. The suspicions is I think there was more going on with Pac. Pac was kind of used as a pinata by a lot of pieces. Yeah, well, you got to know that these cats ain't making any money from music. They got different associations and business that goes on. It's not just from a source. Of course it is. You don't get into the hundreds of millions to be in the billions just on one thing. You're not getting that kind of bag. You can get into clothing line and give me another line. They're selling joints now. They got a line of joints. They get into co-partnerships with this and that. There's a lot of avenues, but how many of them are all legal? Because Kanye has said stuff without saying stuff. He's trying to be half politician, half true, but see, he's upset on both sides of the coin. But they played him like he was crazy. That's what his angle is. They got nothing to want from him. 50's doing all the talking. Kanye ain't gonna say nothing. But he knows all of it. He knows it all. But you see, no one's gonna believe him because they think he cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. That's why no one's gonna touch him at this stage. And what would he actually say anyway? He benefit from both parties. Love and happiness. You better be like Al Green. Glad to have you come through. Been a star-studded night. Lots of folks coming through tonight. Folks is going off the chain and everything. I don't know about all that. But you know, Rick Ross was a Department of Corrections officer, so he took the role of the real life Rick Ross, and then he blew up into what he became. Sorry, love and happiness. I don't know. There's a lot of money going on, a lot of money, but not a lot of honesty. No one's gonna tell you the truth. So yeah. Anyway, there's a lot coming through. Cats worried about other people's money is not a good look. 50 doing a lot of talking. They'll come after him too. You better be careful. Yeah. Keep hitting those, smashing them likes up. I don't know, cause you guys, some people can hear me. Thank you so much. Glad that you came through and welcome aboard, Charlie. Appreciate you. Thanks for joining up. And of course, I got more videos and more thoughts and comments. And if you got things you want to bring, feel free. Glad to have you come aboard. Thank you. Peace and have a great night. Appreciate you. Always glad to have new membership and people coming through and sharing commentary. It's been a pretty, really great night. Right on. Right on. Peace and the best to you. Peace. Okay. See where we are right now. It's great to have all the likes. Poll is doing great. He is on the road to recovery still. He knows some stuff, but he ain't gonna say nothing. He's walking a fine line. And they got him right where they want him. That's good questions. They asked about Kanye and asked about Jamie. Cats who usually got a lot to say. Uh, they're not gonna do much talking. So not a lot to say with Jamie Foxx these days. on the poll. So if I don't hear any more, get any more questions, I might call it a night because I've been on for like almost 3 hours. I appreciate everybody that came through. It's been a star-studded night, and I got to do this again. Anybody can hear me and they want me to come back tomorrow or next couple of days, just put a one up. Let me know. And if not, I won't, be back soon. I think we should be okay though. Anyway, appreciate everybody. Thank you for all the words, conversation, the great chat, the support, and appreciate y'all. And hopefully we'll get the system, everything right, because we definitely breaking was on record point. So have a great night. Stay blessed, stay safe, stay cool, stay real, stay true. Till next time, peace. I catch y'all out.